Good morning, world. It is 3:48 a.m. in the morning. 3:48, 3:49 a.m. 3:48 a.m. in the morning, Eastern Standard Canadian Time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video I made yesterday. So I'll make a quick 30-minute video. Talk about SkySource and Zanus for 30 minutes, and I'll upload it and I'll watch the show with you guys, and I'll probably go to bed, and I'll make a video later today for you guys around 4 in the afternoon. And I'll get my beer and smokes as usual and enjoy the show with you guys, and I'll watch probably maybe Robert May Burnett tonight. Some Robert May Burnett I'll watch. Yeah, I've given some thought. Yeah, maybe I am being a bit too generous with the actors for Zanus. The B-list actors, the A-list actors, I can understand you give them roles. Maybe I am being a bit too generous with Yvonne José and John Boyega. Peter might have a point. If I hire him, you might tell me, Ivan, you're being far too generous with your stars. But the royalties I'm giving them is pocket change. It's not affecting my budget at all. It's not affecting my royalties at all. If I make $20 billion of the movie, $100 million going towards the actors is pocket change. It's not hurting me, Sarah. Yes, it's $100 million is a lot of money, but it's not like I'm gonna spend $100 million in 1 year. I'm gonna spend probably $100 million in 15 years. I'll spend $100 million of my money, Sarah. $200 million of my money I spend in 15, 20 years. Because some years I might be blowing maybe 25, 30 million a year. There's nice stuff I want to get, and I buy it, obviously. But most of the time, I'm probably going to spend on average 7 to 10 million a year. But I'm going to give the actors a piece of the royalties for Zanus. I really work harder for me, and they destroy the role. I know what I'm doing. But that's enough. If John Boyega's agent gets cocky, or what, Yvonne José's agent gets cocky, I'm not giving you any more money. This is enough money. You're getting greedy, guys. Yes, you guys smell blood in the water, and you want to what? You want a bigger chunk of the pie. Yeah, your agents are greedy. Look, man, they're not even worth my royalties. They're not giving me more than $5 million. Sarah? And I want my company to be better than Hollywood. So the moment you pay them a rich salary, you also give them a nice piece of the royalties. Your company is now easily beating out Hollywood. Hollywood, most actors don't get a piece of the royalties for their movies. They get their flat salary, and that's it. The only ones who can negotiate for a piece of the royalties in Hollywood are the A-list actors, the bigger ones. Occasionally, they might get points, box office points. Occasionally, sometimes, but most of the time, they get their flat salary, and that's it. They're 20 million, or 15 million, or 10 million. That's it. And sometimes they might negotiate for points, 10, 15, 20 million dollars in points. They get 2% of the points, and they make $20 million, $18 million in points from the box office. Because I'm giving all the A-list actors points, $5.5 to $125 million in royalties. The low end is $5.5 million. The high end is $125 million. But the $125 million is very rare. It's only if the guy's really, really big, like Keanu Reeves or Will Smith or Brad Pitt. Those guys are worth $120 million in royalties. So the ones who are worth 200, 250 million, those guys are worth 70, 75, 80, 90, 85 million, 100 max. And the ones who are a bit lower than them, who are worth 100, 150, those guys are worth 30. Those guys are worth what? 40 million minimum, and up to 67, 68 million, $66 million. Those guys. And the ones who are worth under that, the ones who are smaller, 70 to 99 million, those guys are worth 25 28, 30, 33, 35, 37, 38, $39 million in royalties. But most of them are probably going to pay them like those guys. I'll pay like on average 25 million, 27, 30 million royalties. You don't know these guys ripping you off, man. It's good enough. They don't make that in Hollywood. It depends on who the actor is. The actor or the actress is, right? A couple minutes, I'm going to go upstairs and get my coffee. I made like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, hence why my Sky Source company will blow hell out of the water, man. It's going to be crazy. It's going to beat out Hollywood. My company will beat out Hollywood. So Zayas, I'll make for $1,200,000,000 based off my novel that I wrote, my masterpiece that I wrote. A 10 out of 10 book. Look at an amazing story. I don't think any fast novel will top that. Look at an amazing story. You'll see what I mean in my book, guys. Look at an amazing story I wrote. Obviously. So I make, I don't know, my $12 billion off my book. I now have money for myself to fund the movie. I'll fund it for $1,200,000,000, Zanus. It's more than enough money for the movie. 410 towards salaries. I can easily be cheap and put like 300 million towards salaries, 310 million towards salaries, and I have like a $25 million budget to pay the actors. If I do that, they're not going to work as hard, and they're not going to brag how much their company's knowledge. I'm saying I know what I'm doing. Pay John Boyega 1.5, Avon Jose 500K, Yijin Wan 2.5. They're pretty good paychecks, but they're not great. They're not. They didn't get paid. They got paid, but not like paid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Obviously. And that's why you have 400 times on a budget. That way you have more room to pay them a richer salary. That's what I'm doing. And that's why I'm putting that much money towards salaries. That way I can pay them more money. 80 million on the budget around there. The actors are costing me. I know that's crazy, but I have the keys. I'll make my money back easily. It's not a problem. I'm the exception. I can have a crazy lucrative budget like this because I have the keys. So I'm saying, I have the keys. I'll make my money back. Yeah. I'll make my money back, so I'm saying. I know what I'm doing. So 410 towards salaries to pay my cast, my crew, and my 7 team. 780 towards the movie. And 10 million towards the documentary. So Sarah, that'll be used to fund the entire project of Zanus. That's where I'm looking at the best story ever told in motion picture. Unheard of budget, better than Avatar Pandora. That's gonna be crazy. A war better than Two Towers, the Two Tower War. You know what I'm saying? And then what? Yeah, look at an amazing movie, man. Amazing movie. Even Keanu Reeves won't ever be the same as actors. Because Keanu Reeves might not be my Great Escape movie. I might do the Matrix over the Great Escape. It's not Gary Dieter, but do the Great Escape. I might, because Warner Bros. Might call me up, be like, yeah, Ivan, we'll sell, well, what? We'll sell you the rights. You know what I'm saying? And we'll delete Resurrections. I'm like, yeah, fuck the Great Escape. I'm doing the Matrix. Or I might do the Great Escape. We'll see what happens, obviously. And when Keanu Reeves and all them read my book, oh my god, these actors are lucky. I wish I could be a part of this story. But the Keanu Reeves is not good for Zayas at all, I'm saying. He's too expensive. Zayas is a kind of movie where I don't want any bigger A-listers in that movie. I'm only hiring smaller A-listers and like B-list actors and rising stars. Because in my opinion, for those kind of movies, the bigger A-listers don't really fit the bill. You could have maybe one, but I mean, I don't see any bigger A-listers fitting the bill for Zanus. I want to hire cheaper actors for Zanus. Because there's so many supporting characters, you gotta hire cheaper actors. Don't hire big ones, they're gonna affect my budget like crazy. You can't have like 7 bigger aces. They're gonna affect my budget. Whereas small acers and beat attackers are much cheaper. I can afford them. But I can't afford like a bunch of bigger acers. No. Whereas for the Gray Escape, you have more than half less the characters of Zanus, and so I can have a couple bigger acers for the Gray Escape, as well as the Matrix. Samsara. The Matrix will be cheaper because the Matrix, I'm only gonna have like 9 major characters. That's it. So it's pretty cheap, obviously. Whereas Zanus, I have like 35, 40 characters. That's why you got it, and like 14 of them are major characters. You have like 3 pretty major ones. That's why you got to be careful how you spend your money on your cap when you pay the actors their salary, obviously. So my top 2 cans for the directing job is Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson. Somebody tells me I'll choose Mel Gibson over Peter. Don't hate Peter. I might choose Peter over Mel. Those are my 2 top cans for the directing job of my movie. Peter, I'll pay him his $85 million base for the movie. That's enough, Peter. I'm not paying you more money. You don't make this in Hollywood. You get $450 million in royalties from the Sky Source box office receipts, profits, before February sold on Amazon, obviously. And you get $80 million in royalties from the merch profits, merch receipts, merch profit receipts. So you signed a $580 million deal, which is like $682 million in your own money. So you signed almost a $700 million. That's enough money for you, Peter. You want more? I'm like, Peter, you're fucking greedy. I'm not gonna pay you $800, $900 million deal. You're fucking crazy. What I'm paying you is enough. You don't even make this in Hollywood. This is double you made for the Rings. This is alive, and yeah, you have a good deal. The Mel, I'll give him $170 million in royalties from the box office receipts, and I'll pay him his $56 million. I'll pay him his $56 million base. I heard a noise. And I'll give him $25 million in royalties for the box office for the merch royalties. 25 million royalties from the merch sales, merch receipts, right? Yeah, obviously. That's my deal for Mel Gibson and Peter. The reason why Mel's making way less than Peter because he's not as big as Peter. He's only worth like $400 million. Peter's worth like $1.6 billion, $1.7 billion. That's why I'm paying more money. I'm still paying Mel a lot of money, more than what all these directors make in Hollywood. Signed like a $250 million deal. In American money, he signed like a $190 million deal, a $200 million deal. It's a massive contract for Mel Gibson. This is alive. I don't even make this in Hollywood. Yeah, you don't make this in Hollywood. Except for Passion Christ, you made a lot of money for that, obviously. But after Passion Christ, Mel Gibson never made that kind of money. So it's a good deal for Mel Gibson. Right? Whoever I choose, that'll be the chosen lucky director who gets to direct my amazing movie. My $1.2 billion budget movie. It's been top notch. Aratat, the king of the south. Ephesus, the king bat of the mountains. Imagine that on the screen. Imagine 5,000 Sakians journeying through the mountains. And the mountains are cursed. The world looks beautiful, but the mountains are cursed. You have these big mutated mosquitoes that bite the people. They have torches. Like Prince of Egypt, they're all scared. They're in the devil's territory, Ephesus territory. They journey through the caverns like Moria. Imagine 5,000 people journeying through the caverns like Moria. They camp there, they walk through, and the demonic bats live there, man. Like demonic bats, yeah. You don't just have the adults, you also have children in the what? Yeah, you have children too. That's why Peter Miller, yeah, I'm pitching the story in my mind. I think this is like bigger than my Lord of the Rings, Ivan, yeah. A much bigger scale story, Ivan, yeah. I think this will top Lord of the Rings. It will. Think something like what you got from Moria, except you have 5,000 people journeying through there, man. And the 700 blacksmiths, and you have Tacitus, his cousins, and his southern friends. Samsara. They journey through the caverns. That's where all the demonic bats live, yeah. Remember when you got that that Orkai army approaching Helm's Deep. Yeah, think of an army twice that size, and they're 3 times scared of demons. They're approaching Zanes. That's why people are like, yeah, Ivan, this is like a much grander scale movie than even My Lord of the Rings, Ivan. Yeah. It's a crazy, epic movie. So, Sarah? Yeah. That's why all the Hollywood actors are going to be envious of, like, you're going to see Daisy really giving John Boyega dirty stares. So congrats, John. You got signed. He's like, thanks, man. You know what I'm saying? He's London actor. Thanks, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, you're lucky, John. You know what I'm saying? I read Ivan's book. You're going to be a part of that story. That $1,200,000 story was, I'm in fucking Hollywood. Ivan's going to pay you that money. Money that I'll never make in Hollywood, yeah. Daisy really probably makes like $1 million for her movies in Hollywood. Congrats to Daisy Ridley, by the way. She's doing a new Star Wars series. So Lucasfilm is doing a new Star Wars series with Daisy Ridley. It's like 15 years later. So congrats to her, obviously. She has work in Hollywood, but I mean, even then she'll still feel like shit. Yeah, I'd rather be in Ivan's movie than fucking be working for Disney and be a dirty slave. Yeah. She's probably going to negotiate for maybe $2 million for her movies. Maybe $3 million if she's lucky for her movies. Because Hollywood's cheap, obviously. And she's not an A-list actor, Daisy Ridley. She's a rising star. But once she does the Star Wars trilogy, she will pretty much become an A-list actor. If the trilogy is successful and doesn't flop, God forbid, and most likely won't flop. But if it flops, it's not going to look good on her career. But if it's successful, she'll most likely become an A-list actor after those 3 movies. Those 3 big Star Wars movies that she's doing, the trilogy. After that, she'll be like 40 in her 40s. I'm hating, you know what I'm saying? And she'll most likely become an A-list actor. Or she might continue to rise. But sometimes it takes actors even 20 years just to rise to the A-list rank. Sometimes they rise and they never become A-list actors. They rise, but they don't make it to that A-list rank because it's tough. It's not easy, obviously. But most rising stars usually become A-list actors. Chances are, if the guy's a rising star, he will become an A-list actor. He or she will become an A-list actor in the future. But sometimes it takes time. So it takes time, obviously. He gets his big break. He lands a big budget movie role, and he's an A-list actor now. She's an A-list actor now. So But yeah, even Daisy Ridley will be like, "Oh, John, you're lucky, man. You're gonna be part of that story." Ivan's cousin Tessa Tony is. He's like, "Yeah, man. Thanks." I'm saying, Oscar Isaac, Adam Driver, they're gonna be like, "Oh, John, you're lucky, man. You give a team a good word about me." Yeah, I will, man. He doesn't give a word. I'm saying, because he's selfish, obviously. Yeah, it's actually funny. Yeah, Don Cheadle. You're gonna see all the Marvel guys are gonna net worth with Don Cheadle and Idris Elba. Because Idris Elba was in Marvel. He was in Thor. He was in Thor. He was in a minor role, but he was in the movie. He was in Thor. He was in Endgame. No, he was in Infinity War. The guy who connects the bridge, whatever it is. Yeah, all the people in Marvel are gonna ask them for word. You're gonna see Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth. You know what I'm saying? Scarlett Johansson, Brie Larson, Samuel Jackson. They're all gonna be begging Don Cheadle and Idol for word. Yeah, yeah. You give him a word about me, man. Yeah, I'll give him word. They don't give word because they're selfish, obviously. Because they all read my book, man. That story is a masterpiece. I can only imagine how amazing a movie that would be if you put $1,200,000,000 into that movie. Yeah, look at an amazing movie. Zanus. The world of the North, the South. Yeah, that's why you show Peter or Mel Gibson those clips that way they know. I'm thinking something like I'm thinking something like this for the what? For the cursed Western Glades Mountains with the mosquitoes. And like Prince of Egypt, they all have torches and they're scared. So we give them ideas. Oh, Ivan, thank you. I have some ideas. Oh yeah. I'm thinking something like this for young Takis, young Messiah. The way this kid actor played. I'm thinking something like this for Passion of Christ. When Takis is older, he's more mature and he grows his beard. I don't spoil so for you, some saying, but you get a good movie. You help Mel and Peter out. The end of the day, you gotta trust Mel and Peter. Let them do their thing. But I'm gonna obviously help them out a little bit. I'll go over their notes. I'll get whatever ideas I have. I'll let them know when we do the consult hours. I help them out a little bit, obviously. But you have to trust them that they're to do their job, obviously. Some saying, you have to trust them, obviously. All right, who gonna choose? I don't know. Something tells me. Somebody tells me Mel is the right man, not Peter, man. Don't hate me, Peter Jackson. Even though I like talking about him a lot, somebody tells me Mel is a better man for the job, not Peter. He's a Christian man. You'll have a lot of good ideas for the horror, the demon wolves and bats, and all the themes, and yeah. Whereas Peter will bring probably my world more to life, the fantasy. Well, Mel Gibson will still bring my world to life too. Because we're going to do the concepts, obviously, but Mel Gibson's not a fantasy guy, but he's a war guy, he's a horror guy. Peter is not necessarily a horror guy. He did B horror movies in the 90s, like Bad Taste, Heavenly Creatures, before he became big off Lord of the Rings. He did these like independent B horror movies, like Bad Taste, Heavenly Creatures. He did like all these movies before he hit it big in Lord of the Rings. Some Sarah. And he's a fantasy guy. That's why it's tough to choose between the two directors. And you're going to see how hard they're going to compete for that job. Because they want that job so bad. Some Sarah. And all Hollywood actors are going to envy these A stars like crazy. Because they're lucky chosen saved. They're going to get to be in an Ivan and VJ movie. Mainly movies, don't hate me, you know what I'm saying? I'm the main show ultimately. He is the main show too, but I don't be the main show. Don't hate me, you know what I'm saying? They get to be in an Ivan and VJ movie. Some Sarah. Yeah. An Ivan VJ movie, man. The most expensive movie ever made. They get all these perks. Yeah, Ivan's gonna spoil them, yeah. A luxury buffet, limo services all day for 1 year. Imagine getting limo services all day for 1 year the third year. A luxury buffet, staying at a suite in a luxury hotel for 1 year with a pool, jacuzzi. They ain't spoiled. I can easily afford it. I have a big budget, obviously. The once-in-a-one parties, the ad shoots, getting featured on my ad shoots. The magazine ad shoots with me and my wife and all, so it's top notch, yeah. The interviews on my Sky Source News, yeah. So think about this. Daisy Ridley will be doing her Star Wars movies by the time I sign John Boyega and all them, and even she will be envious of John. Yeah, even though I signed his contract in Hollywood for my trilogy, man, like Ivan's company is much better than Hollywood, yeah. John Boyega is free. He's making way more than me. He's getting all these perks. He's experienced that buzz with Ivan Region. I'm left behind in Hollywood. I'm making like $2 million for my movie. You know what I'm saying? And what? Hollywood's cheap, obviously. I'm not getting spoiled the way Ivan's spoiling me, and I have to do it. I'm a dirty slave, yeah. Because in Hollywood, they're not going to let you make your free money, man. They're dirty over there. They make you do it to make your money. They make you pay a price. Well, even when you're, I'm going to say this, even when you're in a relationship, you got to do it, man. Which can damage your relationship, man. Don't hate me, guys, I'm saying. It damage your relationship. That's why a lot of relationships in Hollywood don't last. Yeah. Was I give you freedom. Wealth, freedom, and fame. I give you all of that, but I also give you freedom. Because I'm clean, I'm a good man. I'm not interested in dirt. I'm interested in cleans, I'm saying. Yes, the gatekeepers in Hollywood give them a good deal. They have money for themselves, they're famous. But they gotta do it. They gotta pay a price, man. Whereas me, I'm clean now. You get your freedom. My 17 get the freedom. They don't have to do anything. Peter Jackson and Gilson get their freedom. They don't have to do anything. That's why they might cry when I offer them that contract. Ivan's giving me this amount of money, free cash. They're shocked. Hollywood would never do this. Peter might shut tears. Ivan, thank you, man. You know, in Hollywood they would never give me free cash. Yeah, I gotta pay a price. You know, Gilson might cry. Ivan, thank you. Chances are they're not gonna cry, but they're gonna respect you as a businessman. Yeah, Ivan's a good king. A humble, good king. Yes, I'm a humble, good king. Yes, I brag on his channel, but I'm a humble man, man. I'm not going to brag how much money I make to all these people. No, I keep it to myself. So, see what I'm saying? Give me a second. I'm going to go upstairs and get my coffee. Don't hate me. I'll be back in a sec. Alrighty, I'm back. I went upstairs to get my coffee. Sorry for the wait, guys. Get everyone on the wait. Yeah, don't hate the Great Escape actors or Matrix actors, even though they're lucky. Well, the Matrix actors will be lucky. Yeah, you look at an amazing movie for that. But like, they're not as lucky as the Zane's actors. As Zane's is a legendary story. You're looking at real demonic beings, guys. Something that will make The Exorcist look PG-13. Yeah. Okay, it'll make The Exorcist look 14 plus. I may be exaggerating a little because The Exorcist is a fucking scary movie. But because it was made in the 70s, you can tell it looks a little bit dated. It's cheesy when you watch it now, right? Because it's made in the 70s, obviously. You guys see my point? Yeah, that's why all the Hollywood actors are going to envy these things actors like crazy. When you get the announcement, the news, John Boyega, Vaughn, Joji, all those actors signed, yeah. They signed their massive deals. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be part of that buzz of Ivan and BJ, yeah. It's guaranteed Mel Gibson will be all for rated R. Whereas Peter will probably push for PG-13. Or he might push for rated R. Because he did rated R movies in the 90s. Horror, like, crazy movies, obviously, in the 90s. Hugh Jackson, before he did Lord of the Rings. Yes, PG-13 Zanes will still be a good movie, but it won't be as powerful. I know what I'm doing. Because Lord of the Rings is still a pretty freaky movie when you watch it. But, like, I don't want Aerosmith to be PG-13. No, rated R. That's where it's at. I'm saying, I want The Great Escape to be darker, too, like John Wick. John Wick is R-rated. And because it's R-rated, so it's a better movie. Whereas They're Unique, I could have that PG-13. They're Unique, I'll most likely have PG-13 if I do the 5 movies. The Matrix, I'll have it 14 plus. So it's a little darker than PG-13, but it's not like rated R. It's 14 plus. So for 14-year-olds and up, right? But a 10-year-old kid can watch a 14 plus movie. You just gotta be with your parents. They'll be fine, obviously. Whereas rated R, you can't watch that. You gotta be older for that, man. But even 14-year-old kids watch rated R movies. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, man. Zanes will have crazy worldwide buzz, man. That world, all of the wars, unheard of war. Me and the actors are gonna be badass stars. Crazy action sequences. Better than Lord of the Rings. And unheard of, untold horror. Looking at demons and devils. So scary that, like, Peter and Mel might be affected by the horror of the demonic beings. You know, Ivan, staring at these demonic masks is creeping me out, Ivan. You know, I'm saying, are you okay, Mel? I'm fine, Ivan. Are you okay, Peter? I'm fine. And that's why you gotta hire a psychologist. I'm gonna ask Peter and Mel, should I hire a psychologist? Ivan, hire a psychologist. You're looking at demons, yeah. Looking at real devils, man. Hence why the Zayn Zackers are lucky, man, yeah. And John Boyega and Vaughn Joy don't know what I'm talking about. They can see the future. Obviously. $1,200,000,000 budget movie, yeah. Something crazy. Something crazy. $1,200,000,000 movie, yeah. You're looking at an amazing documentary too. Zayn's will have the best documentary too. Because you're gonna have to get the behind the scenes of the console arts of creating Aratati feasts and all that, and the world building of the North and the South. That stuff is interesting. Whereas the Great Escape is just building the organization. Well, that's interesting, but it's not as interesting as Zanus. Building all those characters, the world building. It's not as interesting as that, Samsara. The Matrix will be interesting, but you guys already know what the Matrix is about. The world's already established. It's not what? It's not as interesting as Zanus, obviously. So yeah, that's why all Zanus actors are lucky, yeah, man. Anyways, here's this video, guys. I'm tired. I'm only gonna make a 30-minute video here. So I have a man. I'm signing out. Please. I hope you guys enjoy this video.